Hello guys, I welcome you to my presentation. In our today's video, we are going to look at Mathematics Paper 2, GCE, which is 2023, Section B, Question 8A and B. So the first question is coming from mensuration. Then the last question is question B, is coming from geometry. So before we answer the questions, I want to share with you this thing here. So this one is saying Zambian School Certificate and GCE. Okay. So we have grade, range, and standard. Okay. So for you to get 1 or distinction 1, you need to get 75 and above. Then as for you to get distinction 2, you need to get 70 up to 74. Okay. Then the last one, I'm going to say it is merit, which is 3, merit 3. So I'm going to end here, okay, which is merit. So now you can give yourself a range where you are supposed to end, okay. So start from getting 1, 2, and if it is possible, if it is not possible, you can get 3, but give your range like starting from 1 up to 2. So these are nice results. So let's make it possible by sharing information to you. Okay, so let me start with question 1. So we have questions here and then the answers I'm going to write here. So the first one, which is question 8A, is saying the diagram shows the flat stem of a cone. The perpendicular height is 40 centimeters. The top and bottom radii are 10 centimeters and 30 centimeters respectively. Okay, so this one is saying take pi as 3.142. Okay. Then the diagram is like this. Now, specifically the question is saying calculate the volume of the flat stem, 6 marks. Calculate the volume of the flat stem, 6 marks. So here what we need to understand here is that a fully cone looks like this. Okay. So a fully cone looks like this. Now, as you can see, this one here has been cut. As the full cone looks like this, now as this one here, it is cut. So, let's imagine if this one here is our ending point for this one here, since this one has been cut, so I can imagine that this one here is ending here. Now, this one here, it is having the radius of 10 centimeters, so I'm going to say, here we are having the radius of 10 centimeters. Then here we are having the radius of 30 centimeters. Then the height we are having it is 40 centimeters from here up to here. Now how it is here is that the first thing you need to find the full height of the full cone. Okay, so we can imagine that from this point here up to this point here we don't know the height. So as for that, I'm going to put a variable which is h, which is going to represent the height. Okay. So for us to calculate the volume here, what you need to understand here is the formula. So I'm going to say a volume is equal to 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Okay. So for us to calculate the volume of the cone or the flat stem, we need to have radius and also the height. Okay. So the first thing here, let's find the small height here. Now for us to find the small height here, I'm going to use similarities. Okay. So I can say this one here is my small cone on top there. This one here is my small cone, where the radius of the small cone here it is 10 centimeters. Then the height of the small cone here I don't have, so I'm going to say it is h. Then the bigger cone, which is this one, here I'm going to say the radius here is going to be 30 centimeters like this one. Then the height from here up to here, so I'm going to say the height here we have h. Okay, then here we have 40 centimeters. Okay, so for us to calculate the small height here, we are going to use similarities. So here I'm going to say this height here, the O height, which is h and 40, is similar to this h here. So here I'm going to say, since I don't know the value of h here, so for us to connect h and 40, I'm going to use plus. So I'm going to say h plus 40. Okay. Now, since here we are talking about similarities, so I'm going to say the bigger height is going to divide the small height, which is h, like this one. So I'm going to say divided by h is equal to. Similarly, I've started with the bigger cone. So here I'm going to start also with the bigger cone of the radius. So I'm going to say is equal to the radius of the bigger cone, which is 30 centimeters. Okay. Over, since this radius here is similar to this one here. Okay. Remember, we are talking about, or we are solving the small height using similarities. So I'm going to say divided by 10. Okay. Then from there now, I'm going to let me say, here I can say cross multiply like this. Okay. Then here I'm going to say 10 multiplied by h multiplied by 40 like this is equal to h multiplied by 30. I'm going to say it is h, let me say 30 h like this. Okay. Then here I'm going to say this one multiplied by this one, that's 10 multiplied by h. I'm going to get 10h plus 10 multiplied by 40, I'm going to get 400 is equal to 30h. Now, as you can see, these two are like terms. So, 10h is going to cross an equal sign, and the sign is going to change. Since this one is positive, so it is going to change to minus. So, here I'm going to say 400 is equal to 30h minus 10h. So here I'm going to say 400 is equal to, then here I'm going to say 30h minus 10h. I'm going to remain with 20h. Now, since here I'm looking for the value of h here, so I'm going to divide by 20, even here by 20. Okay. So this one and this one, they will go. Then here I'm going to remain with h. So here I'm going to say h is equal to 0, and this one here, they are going to cancel each other. Then here I'm going to say 2 into 2, that's 1. 2 into 4, that's 2. Then 2 into 0, that's 0. So I'm going to say it is 20 centimeters. Okay. So this one here, it is just for the small height. Okay. Or I may say the value of h. Now, since here we have found the value of h here, so we can say the bigger height or the height of the bigger cone is equal to, so the value of h here we have, which is 20. So I'm going to say 20 plus 40. Then my answer here is going to be 60 centimeters. Okay. And then as for the smaller height, I'm going to get 20 centimeters, which is this one here. Now, this formula here, we can use it to calculate the volume of the cone or of the fluster. Now, they are looking for the volume of the fluster of this one here, not all fluster. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to exclude the small fluster from the bigger fluster. What I mean here is that the bigger fluster here is the cone. Okay. And then even this one here, it is a cone. So here I'm going to say, since this one here, it is a cone, and then the volume of the cone is this one here. So I'm going to say volume is equal to, let me write the formula now for the bigger cone. So I'm going to say volume is equal to 1 over 3 pi. Now, since here I'm talking about the bigger, so to differentiate these two, as for the bigger, I'm going to use a capital letter R, like this one. Even h here, I'm going to use a capital letter H, like this one here. Okay. Then as for the smaller one, I'm going to use this one as small letters, like this. Okay. So this one here is going to represent the cone, the volume of the small cone. Now here I'm saying we need to exclude a small cone from the bigger cone or the larger cone. So when we are excluding here, we need to introduce the minus here. So here I'm going to remove this one because here we have volume. Now since here we are excluding this one from the bigger cone, we need to ask ourselves what is common here. So what is common here? I'm going to say volume. First I'm going to say volume is equal to, so 1 over 3 is common here. So I'm going to say 1 over 3 is common. I'm factorizing here, okay. So 1 over 3 is common. Apart from 1 over 3, I also have pi, which is this one and this one, they are common. Then apart from that one, this one is capital letter R, and then this one is small letter R. This one is capital letter H, and then this one is small letter h. So these are not common. So I'm going to say, open bracket, capital letter R, capital letter H minus this, small letter R squared, multiplied by H like this one here. Okay. So here I'm going to say my volume is equal to 1 over 3. Okay. Then here they are saying take pi as 3.142. So here I'm going to say multiply by 3.142. Open bracket. Then what is my radius for the Raja or Raj cone? It is this one here, which is 30 centimeters. So I'm going to say 30 to the power 2, since this one here it has a power 2. Okay, multiply by the height of the bigger cone, which is 60 centimeters. So 60 minus the radius of the small cone, which is 10. So here I'm going to say 10 to the power 2 multiplied by the height of the small cone, which is 10 centimeters, like this. Okay, so let me use a calculator here. So here I'm going to say 3.142, open bracket, 30 to the power 2 multiplied by 60 minus 10 to the power 2 multiplied by 20. So here I'm going to get this answer here. Okay, I hope you can see. Yeah, so here I'm going to say volume is equal to this number here. Okay, like this divided by 3. So this one is 16,384. So 16,384. Okay. So let me make it visible. Okay. Okay. So let's continue. So here I'm going to say volume is equal to this number here. So I'm going to say this number here divided by 3. So my answer here is going to be volume is equal to this one, like this one here. Okay. So my final volume here is going to be volume is equal to volume is equal to 54,461.3333, like this one. So here I'm going to say 54,461.3 centimeters cube. Since volume here is measured in centimeters cube, like this one here. So this one is our final answer for question 8A. Okay. So let's move on to the next one, which is B. B is saying 4 times A, which is 70 degrees north, 65 degrees west. B, we have 70 degrees north, 65 degrees east. We have this one, which is 7C, which is 70 degrees south, 65 degrees east, and D, 70 degrees south, 65 degrees west. Okay, so this question here is coming from earth geometry. So they are saying on the surface of the earth, take pi as 3.142 and radius to be 3,437 nautical miles. The first question here, which is Roman numeral number 1, is saying sketch the surface of the earth showing all the 4 towns, A, B, C, and D, 2 marks. So now, let me do this. This one here, it is B, Roman numeral number 1. So I'm going to draw the earth like this one. So this is how the earth looks like. Okay. Now, if I draw here the compass is going to show me like this, where here I'm going to have the North Pole, and then here I'm going to have the South Pole. Here is the east side, and then here I'm going to have the west side. Okay. So now, according to the coordinates that we have been given here, what you need to understand here is that latitudes, latitudes can be north or south. Okay, so latitude can be north or south. So here I'm going to say, according to the coordinates that have been given here, whenever you see 70 degrees north or any number like having north or south, that one is the latitude. Okay, so I can make a coordinate like this one, latitude, longitude. Okay, latitude, longitude, like this one. So this one here will be my coordinate. So this one here on top is going to be my North Pole. Then this one here will be my South Pole. Okay, this one is the east side. This one here is the west side. Now, according to the first one, which is town A. Town A is having we have the North Pole. Now, what you need to understand here is that the equator, which is 0 degrees, it divides the earth into 2 equal parts. So we can say this one here is going to be our equator, which is 0 degrees. So now this equator is going to divide the earth into 2 equal parts, where this side here is going to be the South Pole, then this one here is going to be the North Pole. Okay. So as for the first one, it's saying 70 degrees north. So I'm going to draw the line. So like that I was saying, north, let me say latitudes can be north or south poles. Okay. So I'm going to say this one here is going to be my 70 degrees north, like this one. Now, here I was saying this one here is the east side, and then this one here is the west side. Okay. So I can say the Greenwich meridian or prime meridian can divide also the east side and the west side. Okay. So if here we are having the Greenwich meridian or prime meridian like this one, so this one is the prime meridian, which is also 0 degrees. Okay. So we can say, since this one in this place here is located on the west side, so I'm going to say this one here is going to represent 65, let me say 65 west. Okay. So this one here is going to be my 65 degrees west. Now, where is town A located? So town A is located where these two lines are meeting, the latitude and also the longitude where they are meeting. So I can see like at this point, this latitude, which is 70 degrees north and 65 degrees west, is meeting at this point here. So I'm going to say my place A is going to be located at this point here. Okay. Then as for B, B is saying 70 degrees north, which is this one, the same one. So I'm going to use the same one here. Okay. Then they're saying comma. So the latitude here is 65 is now. The east part or the east side is this one here. So here I'm going to say my east side is going to be this one here. Now they are saying this latitude, let me say this longitude here, it is 65 degrees east. Now like they were saying, for us to locate place B, we are going to look at the point where these two lines are meeting. So this at this point here, this latitude and this longitude, they are meeting at this point. So town B is going to be located at this point here. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is C place town C. Okay. So town C is saying 70 degrees south. So 70 degrees south, I'm going to say it is this one here. Okay. So 70 degrees south. So 70 degrees south. Now what about the longitude? So the longitude here we have 65 degrees east. So we are going to use the same one here. Since we have labeled 65 degrees east, so we are going to use the same latitude here. Now, for us to locate place or town C, we are going to say this one here, it is 65 degrees east, then this one is 75 degrees south. So where they are meeting is at this point here. So I'm going to say town C is going to be located at this point here. Okay. Then as for D, which is the last one, we have 70 degrees south, which is this one, the same one. Then the longitude, which is 65 degrees west, which is the same one here, which is this one here. Okay. So now, this the longitude and also the latitude, they are meeting at this point here. So I'm going to say place D is going to be located at this point here, or town D. So as for Roman numeral number 1, we are done to locate the places. Okay. So we are going to use the same data that we have labeled on the earth to calculate the following questions. So we have the second question, which is saying, which is Roman numeral number 2. Calculate in nautical miles the distance AB along latitude D, 70 degrees at north. Okay. So now what we need to understand here is that, let me answer it here. What you need to understand here is that if places are on the same latitude, okay, at the end we need to put cos theta. Okay, what I mean here is that once we write the formula like, since here we are calculating the distance AB, so I'm going to say AB is equal to theta over 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by pi r, which is the radius, cos theta. Okay. Now, the reason why we are putting cos theta here is that these two places are located on the same latitude, which is latitude D, 70 degrees at north. Okay. So here I'm going to say, I'm looking for my AB. So AB is equal to, now what is my theta here? So for me to find the theta here, I'm going to find the differences in longitudes. Okay. So the differences in longitudes, how it is that if towns or places are located on different sides, we had, for example, if this place here is located at the west side, like A is located on the west part, which is 65 degrees west, then place B is located on the east part, which is 65 degrees east. So these two towns are located on different sides or hemispheres. Okay, so since they are located on the different hemispheres, we are going to add. Okay, if these two places were located on the same side, we need to subtract. Now they are located on the different sides, so I'm going to say, for me to find the theta, I'm going to say theta is equal to difference in longitude. Okay, difference in longitude. The reason why I'm saying difference in longitude, because we have longitudes here. Okay, so I'm going to say 65 degrees plus 65 degrees. So here I'm going to say 65 degrees plus 65 degrees. I'm going to get 130. So my theta here is going to be 130. Okay. This theta here, it is for this one here. Now, as for this one theta here, we are going to use the latitude where these two places are located. Okay, so here I'm going to say my theta here is going to be 130. So I'm going to say 130 over 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by pi, which is 3.142, multiplied by the radius in nautical miles, it is 3,434 cos. Then here I'm going to say 70 degrees. Okay, so for me to find the distance, which is AB, I'm going to say AB is equal to 130 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 3,437 cos 70. Then the answer I'm going to get, it is this one. So let me write it. So I'm going to say this one. Okay. Then here I'm going to divide by 3,000. Let me say 360. Okay, so divide by 360. Okay, so my AB is going to be 2,667.5 at 23442. So my final answer here is going to be AB, which is the distance, is equal to, so we are going to borrow one here, so this one is going to be 8. So when we borrow here, it's going to be, this one is going to be 0. Then here it's going to be 7, so this one is going to be 0. Then this one here is going to be also 0. Then this one here is going to be 3. Okay, so here I'm going to say 3, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so we have how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3 centimeters. Let me say, they are saying in nautical miles, so I'm going to say in nautical miles. Okay, which means as for this one, we are done. So what I was saying is like this. When we borrow 1 from 5, 5 is going to become 0. We put this one, it's going to become 8. So we borrow 1 here, this one is going to become 0. Then this one here also is going to become 0. When we borrow 1 to put it here, so this one is going to become 7. So when we borrow 1 from 7, this one is going to become 0. Then we put it here, this one is going to become 3. So here I'm going to say 3. How many digits? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 nautical miles. Okay. So this one was for question Roman numeral number 2, question A. Okay. So the last one is saying BC along longitude 65 degrees east. Now, if places are on the same longitude, we don't put cos theta. Okay. So if places are on the same longitude, we don't put cos theta. Okay. So let me answer it here. So I'll answer it here. Okay. So they are saying BC. So the first thing here, let's find the differences in since BC. They are having the latitude. So let's find the difference in latitudes. Okay. So theta is equal to difference in latitude. Okay. Different in latitudes. So here I'm going to say, since these two places, or these two towns, which is B and C, are on different poles, so we are going to add 70 plus 70. Okay, so I'm going to get 140. So 70 plus 70, that's the difference in latitude. So I'm going to get 140. So 140 is going to be my theta. Okay, so let me do this. We are calculating BC. Okay. We are calculating BC, so I'm going to say BC is equal to theta, which is 140 degrees over 360 degrees multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3.142, which is the pi, multiplied by the radius, which is in nautical miles, which is 3,437, multiplied by. Okay, so here I was saying don't put cos, so we can end here. Okay, so let me do this. 140 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 3,437 is equal to this one here. Okay, divided by 360 degrees, so divided by 360 degrees. So here I'm going to say this one. Okay, so my BC is going to be 8,399.264222. Okay, so my BC is equal to, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll borrow one here, this one is going to be 10. And then I'll borrow one, this one is going to be 0. So I'm going to put 1 here. So this one is going to become 4. Okay, so this one has not exceeded 5, so I'm going to end here. So I'm going to say 8400. Then they are saying we need to calculate the distance in nautical miles. So I'm going to say in nautical miles, like this one here. So we make it possible by answering these questions. So remember to follow these Zambian School Certificate and GCE guideline, because as for you to get 1 in any subject, you need to put a lot of effort by watching some videos on YouTube like this one. Okay, so remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks.